Peace among religions is a precondition for world peace. Did you know individuals who are strongly identified with their religion are thus less likely to engage in intimate interfaith relationships with a religious outgroup member? Literature shows that families tend to influence their children's dating and marriage decisions in various ways. Socialization has been linked to intermarriage because parents' religious beliefs play a significant role in the religious choices of their children. Religious heterogeneity within partnerships may also result in a significant stress from external sources, such as family members and society more widely. Growing up in a foreign country, I was raised with strict rules under the roof of a Jewish family. All I lived and breathed was the Jewish religion, and I did not know anything different. Coming to Canada at the age of 10 was difficult, but my parents did it for the future success of my siblings and I, because they always said we will live a better life in Canada. The only thing my parents did not understand was that Canada is a very multicultural country and have different religious upbringings, and that other religions do exist, and that raising children in Canada is different than raising them back home. Being raised in Canada from 10 years of age, I made many friends of different religions: Jewish, Muslim, Christian, and more. But according to my parents, I was only allowed to have Jewish friends and nothing more, because it was all they ever knew and accepted. As time went on, my parents began talking to me about arranged marriages, and that myself and my brothers and my sisters will only marry the man or woman they will choose for us. This is how they were raised, and they wanted to raise their children the exact same way. But I never agreed with it. It seemed so odd to me. None of my friends had to have it that way. Why should I? So, at 17 years old, I began to rebel against my parents' wish. I started dating girls of different cultures and religions, but was hiding it from my parents, so that they didn't find out, because I can only imagine their reactions. I don't know why, but I never wanted to be with a Jewish girl. Maybe because it was so instilled in my brain from childhood that I just did not want it. I wanted something different. At 24, I fell in love with a Christian girl. Everything between us seemed so perfect, just like a written fairy tale. But she did not know about my parents' strict dating rules. I never brought it up to her because I was embarrassed and ashamed. How can I tell her something like that? After 1 year of being together, she began to question why she is never invited over for dinners, why she's never invited to family gatherings, why she hasn't even met my family yet. Reasonable questions. Surprised it took her this long. Her family accepted me with open arms, invited me everywhere, and always asked about me. Why couldn't my family do the same for her? This is when I told her the truth about my family's strict dating rules. But I told her too much of the truth, that she will never be accepted into my household because she is not Jewish. She asked me if I cared about religion. I told her no, because I don't. But I have to do it for my family. I can't disappoint them. And surprisingly, she took this information well and still loved me for the person I was. Another 9 months went by. I began asking her if she would be willing to convert into my religion, so that I can introduce her to my family. This is what my parents wanted. They wanted her to convert, and only then she would be accepted. I knew it was wrong of me, but I had to ask. I just had to know. She said she didn't care about religion, but she wouldn't betray the religion she was born and raised by, which was Christianity. She always said to me, "I don't understand why they don't like me because I wear a cross on my chest and not the Star of David. It just seems so unfair." Had nothing to say to her because she was right. A short time after this, she broke up with me. The pressure of not being accepted got to her. She was feeling left out, betrayed, and useless, she called it. She cried to me, telling me that she doesn't deserve the negative comments his family stated about her, because none of it was true. But I never stood up for her in front of my parents, because they would never want to hear it. So I stayed quiet and never defended her. I never told them how hardworking she is, how she cared for me, how much she loved me. Nothing. And I regret it all I should have stood up for her. We live in Canada. Interfaith relationships and marriages are normal. They just never understood that. Peace among religions is a precondition for world peace. And I truly wish my parents understood that. After being apart from her for 1 year, I came back to her, apologized, and promised that I didn't care what my parents thought and that I just wanted to be with her no matter what. She accepted my apology and believed me. I told her everything was going to be okay, and at the end of the day, they will accept her. We started our relationship from scratch, and again, everything seemed so fine. But my parents were still giving me a hard time with her. They still did not want to accept her or even meet her, and they kept making me want to change my mind, saying, "Don't you want to follow your religion? Don't you want your children to speak your language and celebrate your holidays?" Well, yes, I thought, I would like that. But why can't I have that with a Christian girl? Why can't we celebrate both holidays? I never told them this, but that's definitely how I felt. Again, she told me she loves me, but she won't be able to be with someone whose family doesn't even want to meet her, whose family will never accept her for who she is. I feel useless, unloved, and disrespected, is what she said to me. I will never forget those words. It was my fault. I should have never let her feel this way. I should have stood up for her. I should have explained to my parents that interfaith relationships do exist and that it is normal in Canada. But with this experience, I learned to never let my parents take over my life decisions. It is true when they say that strict parents raise rebellious children.